Hello my peeps, welcome to another live session on this Sunday, the 29th of September 2024. I'm coming to you live from the Earthworks Hub studio. I'm sitting on the casting couch today, so I'm actually sitting on this nice leather couch. It's actually quite comfy, so it's a bit different to sitting on that computer chair. I was hoping to get my dog to come and sit here and have him as a bit of a co-host, but he didn't want to sit still, so I got him back out. He's gone. So maybe next time when he's a bit more calm. So yeah, usually he comes and sleeps next to me on this couch and he can sit for hours. But tonight, the time I wanted him to sit still and come and join me on the show, he decides to play up. So out, he's gone. All right. So yeah, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Tonight is a special night. I have a guest. So this guest, he's not the first time he's been on this show. He was one of the initial guests I had when I first started, so it's going to be a good chance to catch up with him, see what's been happening since then. Have a bit of a catch up on what's new with his business and his life. I won't announce who it is yet, but in about 10 minutes I'm going to invite him on. So make sure you stick around for that. It's going to be a very interesting conversation, and most of you will know this guy as well. So I will tell you who it is in a second. Let's run through the week. So my week, I have almost finished Project Spalding. It is basically 98% finished. Everything is done. I put the bollards in over the weekend. Everything's painted. All the carpets in. All the bath, shower fittings. Everything's in. Only thing it needs is shower screens, and because we've got a shower in one of the bathrooms, and line marking tomorrow if it doesn't rain in Melbourne. So hopefully it doesn't rain and the line markers can come in. Then what else is there? I think that's basically another coat of clear on the stairs, and it will be ready to go. So there's some stuff there happening in the backgrounds. I can't inform you of anything yet, but we're working on a few things. So keep your eyes peeled for Project Spalding, but it is basically 95% complete. Maybe even 98 if I want to be a bit more accurate. Once again, thank you to everybody on TikTok that's joined, and thank you to everyone on Instagram. This is our weekly live, so it does happen every Sunday, 8 p.m. Thank you very much for everyone that keeps joining and following every week. I appreciate you guys coming back on week, and I thank everyone for their input. So your input is vital. If you want to, post up some comments, ask questions, now's the time, because this is your time. We're here to help each other, and if I've got something that I can't help with, other people on here can. So feel free to ask whatever you want, within reason, of course. But ask anything, and we can try and help. So feel free. Before we continue, quick shout out to all my sponsors: the Network Finance, Bole Group, Melbourne Tractors, Spartan Machinery, Nexgen Landscapes and Earthworks, JR Safety Code, Digga. Don't forget Digga and Hard Hat Watches. I have discount codes with those, so you can get yourself a discount on certain items, and that is eWorks Hub. So if you ever go on there, and people have been using it, so I've noticed, because I get a report to say if people are using my discount code, and people are actually using the code, and that's for both the Hard Hat Watches and for Digga. So thank you to everyone that is using that code, and it shows that obviously if you have used it, if you're one of the people that have used it, let everyone know, because you do get a discount on stuff. Why not share it and use that code? So eWorks Hub on Digga and Hard Hat Watches. So the other sponsors are Digga, Godings, and Earthmoving Warehouse. So thank you to all those sponsors. So yeah, line marking, landscaping, they're the last few things that I've got to do at Project Spalding, very, very much towards the end. And then before I go to what posts I did this week, I decided to call it Hammer Week. So I thought I'm just going to post up a lot of stuff about hammers, everything hammer related. There's actually a lot more I'd love to post, but I was prompted by that when I interviewed Aaron from Definitive Contracting. We're going to start doing some more and more posts that can actually help people, little technical things that can help everyone. And as I said last time, we're going to do a regular segment where Aaron comes on And, for 10, 15 minutes or whatever it is, on that segment, he can actually answer your questions live. So if you've got questions, keep them handy. I've got to work out what Sundays that's going to be. So whether it be every 2 weeks or once a month, we're working on that as we speak. And we're going to be making some videos together with some more technical help as well. So, mechanical things and that to help each other with machinery. What I might do is I'm going to invite my guest. I can see he's joined. So I present to you Hayden from Kinghorn Excavations. Oh, here we go.
Here we go, mate.
The man, the myth, the legend. He's here.
How are you?
Good, mate. Good. How are you?
Yeah, good, mate. Good, mate. Sorry, I had to. It's a new phone, mate. New phone. I had to turn the settings on. So I
all
wasn't.
good, man. All good.
I wasn't dodging your request, but yeah.
No, all good, man. All good. Well, I've got you on live. I'm going to tell everyone on TikTok, guys, I'm going to sign all the TikTok people off. There's no point because you won't be able to hear us. Everybody on Instagram, hang on, give me 1 minute. See you later, TikTokers. Thanks for joining. We'll see you during the week anyway. All right. There's no point having them on because they're not going to be able to see or hear what we're saying. So
Yeah.
I might as well just keep it personal with all of us here at Instagram.
Perfect, mate.
Strap in. Bailey McKenzie saying strap in. Oh, jeez. We're not going that deep. It's all right. It's okay. Mate, I thank you very much for coming on. I was telling everyone that I've got a guest that's not the first time on here. So you were one of my initial guests, yeah, when I first started, and I thank you for doing that back then and for coming back on again tonight.
No worries, man. Hopefully the technology this time is a bit. That take last time about 2 weeks to upload that one, didn't it? From me?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Hopefully it's a bit better. Yeah, the first one we ran. What happened? That's right. We lost all the.
Yeah, my phone wouldn't work or something.
Yeah. We lost all the visual, man. So, but it's working because the dark Bobber is saying that's a good-looking rooster. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. I get my looks from him.
Oh, yeah. The dark Bobber. I like it. Let me see. Oh no, what's going on here? I'm getting messages in the background, which shouldn't be happening. Anyway, all right. So what I'll do. Thank you very much for coming on again, Hayden. I was going to go through quickly what my week was like and what my posts were, and I usually do that without the guests, but I thought it's probably good to have you on here while I go through it because I called this week Hammer Week, and I tried to do a post every day with some tips, on what to do with your hammer. And I had one where I spoke about how to properly grease the hammer, and that was to always have the moil depressed into the like a solid type of ground, and then grease it like that, rather than just having it laying on the ground. And that came from that was advice that we got also from Aaron from Definitive Contracting. So what's your opinion on that? Do you even use the hammer? You must use it in your line of work.
I do. Yeah, I try not to.
Yeah.
I try not to, but I suppose I don't really like my mate's 35. I think we kind of. I think that's got a canister. That's got a canister that screws into it. That one, I think. So that's
auto loop.
Separate. Yeah,
that's
one.
That's the auto one. Yeah. So that.
To be honest with you, the high ones that I get, like I don't use them enough to.
Yeah.
I'll only be on it for 20 minutes. So I don't know. No point putting grease in it. I'll send it back. I haven't even used it barely. So but
oh, fair enough. But that's the advice we got given as well. So that way, when the moils are pressed on the hammer, the chisel goes all the way up, prevents grease going up above the chisel, and then being blasted back up into the through the seals and up into the hammer itself. So that was one of the posts. The other one was how to connect your hoses properly. So I always showed people how to connect them. This was on a 22 tonner, so it was a screw-in type. But I do want to do one, and a lot of people are asking me to do a video on the little push-on ones. So like for 5 ton and below, because a lot of people have problems with those. They get airlocks in them, and you can't they get airlocks.
The main thing is you just got to drain. So when because I reckon they're shit.
Yeah.
The quick release, there's nothing quick about them. But one of my old operators, he showed me this. So say if you've got your machine and you want to release it, so release the pressure in it.
Yeah.
So turn the machine off, turn the key back on to kind of the auxiliary setting. So you just got the battery, the screen comes up, put your safety down, and then my 5-tonner's got it on the joystick. So you just toggle the auxiliary and it'll actually release the pressure and then turn it back off and then get back into it. So I've found that works, or just have a good set of 2 spanners with you.
And crack the
But
seal.
I've found that ever since I kind of do that you kind of drain the system, it works pretty well. But that every now and then you have to get out and crack it. So yeah. The best one I like is those semi ones where it's kind of like it's a quick coupler, but you still got to screw them on.
Yep.
I think a lot of 15-tonners have them. They're probably my favorite. They're kind of like a semi, kind of a cross between the two. But yeah, I think the main hammer I've probably sat on is a 35. I think the main thing about that is have rags with you. And then when you're taking your caps off, always kind of wrap them up in a rag. Because you don't want to be dropping them in dirt or whatever, them getting dirty, and then you're screwing them back on. You've always got to make sure that you thread and you keep the caps nice and clean, I suppose.
Yeah. No, I agree exactly, man. Even when you were saying, the quick release ones on the 5s and below, I do the exact same thing. So when I finish, if I know I'm going to use an attachment, I turn the machine off before I put it on. Put the auxiliary on, toggle the switches, or put it to hammer mode, whatever, and then toggle the switches a bit. And then what I do is I go out and then I actually put them in. When I finish, I do the same thing. So when I finish with the attachment, I turn everything off, toggle the switches again to release again. And then what I also do is when I disconnect the 2 hoses, I actually reconnect on the attachment itself. I reconnect the male and female so that they're always connected together and they don't get dirty as well. And they don't allow pressure to build up again when it's laying around.
Yeah. No, it's good, man. It's it's definitely a good way to do it.
Yeah.
So.
That's it. And then the other one was, I spoke about the difference between hammer grease and normal grease. So I was saying the hammer paste has got more baby wipes and Ziploc bags. That's a Terra Pro saying. There you go. The other thing is I was talking about the difference between hammer grease or hammer paste or chisel paste, and then and regular grease, and then how to clean your gloves. And then we've got Oscar saying, "Do you recommend changing the hoses shirtless?" Well, you can if you want to. You can if you want to.
I highly recommend.
Yeah.
Highly recommend. Yeah.
Topless.
And if you got nipple tassels as well, put them on.
While you're doing it. There you go. Hey, what's funny, man? I was wearing my tight sort of work pants, and I got so many comments about that. Are you wearing your missus' pants? Are you doing this? Does your sister know that you've taken her pants? And I was like, come on.
I can relate to that. I got a set of, they're like cotton on, stretchy kind of jean things. And I just got sick of, I don't know if you get that. I get sick of running, like a lot of the work pants you get. I don't know, I find them shit these days. So I just started running these jeans. Yeah. And I get it. They kind of look like jeggings, kind of. So I cop a fair bit of shit. I cop my fair share of shit on site, but hey, they're comfy.
Yeah. I hear you, man. I hear you. And you know what else I do now? I pick my pants all to have like an elastic at the top.
Yeah.
So that they're easier around your stomach and that. When you're sitting down for hours and that, last thing you want is tight around your stomach and that, man. So I'm going for more of the elastics now as well, man.
Yeah. No, it's I'm with you on that one. I saw a comment there before, I think. I haven't found the 1.8. She's still missing.
Oh, yes. That was going to be one of my questions when we started chatting about yourself. Well, let's get to it, man. Yeah, so what happened there, man? What happened with this 1.8 tonner that's gone missing?
So I was I had it out at a site in Greenvale, and I got a phone call from the great foreman out there, and it's that phone call that you don't want to get. I was on my way to Seaford, and I pulled over, and he was kind of like, "Hey, did you come pick the 1.8 up?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "Oh, it's not here." And I was like, "Fuck, you kidding me?" And he was like, "Nah, no, like I'm full legit here." So I kind of went into panic stations. I got a tracker on it. So I checked the tracker app and it had it in technical drive in Craigieburn. So I rang the cops straight away. And like, long story short, they're flat out. Like they were as helpful as they could be, but they had bigger fish to fry. And I said, look, is it worth me going out there? This is where it is, technical drive. And I actually got told that area is a bit dangerous. That's a known street criminal activity.
Oh,
So they actually, they said, don't go out there. We're going to go out there with backup. And then, I don't know, dragged on for a couple of hours. And it turned out that they had actually removed the tracker and dumped it on a truck out there. So yeah, and they had sprayed the camera on the construction site as well. So yeah, look, it made it pretty hard to track it down, but yeah, they reckon it was a black patrol that stole it. They caught that on technical drive on one of the CCTV, but yeah, no leads. The crazy thing about it, man, is they left all the digging buckets.
yeah, yeah,
So it's like, yeah, they took the muddy, they left the two digging buckets, and they dragged the ripper because the ripper was kind of, I lock it in under the blade,
yeah,
and they tracked out, obviously with the blade down, and they dragged the ripper probably about 20 meters.
yeah.
And then they kind of took it halfway up a stockpile, which I wouldn't have done that because I would have rolled it. Like, it's pretty sketchy where they took it, and then put it on a trailer and off they went. So
Man.
it's grim. It's very grim.
Yeah.
So, but
And that is the issue with these small machines, man. My 1.8 got taken, but they actually took it with the trailer and everything. So they had everything on there. They took it all one-stop shop, took the whole lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, people are saying, another guy saying he's got a Unified Plumbing saying he's got a small Volvo 1.8 and he'd be gutted. And he's actually around the corner from there. There you go.
Yeah. No, it's for me. It was kind of, look, I don't really use my 1.8 anymore, but it was more the sentimental. It's like your first hydraulic child. It's your first excavator. You kind of like, you know what I mean? It holds that sentimental value. So I'm still kind of a bit devastated about that, but that's
Was it the case? Was it the case that after that everybody wanted you on the 1.8?
Yeah.
Is it?
There was a few that came up, but it was kind of good, man. It was kind of like all these like little kind of residential jobs where it's kind of this, I suppose, the stuff where I started.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to do anymore. People were like, "Hey, man, can you I need you to come in and like dig out my backyard?" And I could just be like, "Sorry, man, don't have a 1.8." So I could kind of be like now, like, "Oh, I don't have the digger." I could hire one, but no, I'm not interested. So it's kind of like, But now, look, fingers crossed, man. It still might rock up because it's like the old insurance game. You insure it, you pay more to insure it at a premium, and then they come back and they offer you market value.
Yep.
So it's kind of like the body. Yeah, even the insurance, like even though you've got insurance on it and you insure it at a sum, it means shit. So it's kind of like, it's one of those things, man. It's frustrating because that was the second time it's been stolen. So,
yes. So what happened the first time? How'd you find it the first time?
So first time came through Instagram, actually. It was a Westgate Tunnel Christmas party at a scout hall in Sunshine. And through my old boss, he shared it on his Instagram and he had a fair few followers. And one of the fellas who was at the Westgate Tunnel Christmas party saw the digger parked out the front in a Sunshine industrial street, all spray painted and shit. And then he notified him and then we ended up getting out there and getting it. So crazy how that came back.
Yeah.
Through.
That's probably
through in.
not far from my warehouse, is it? I
Yeah.
betcha.
So it was pretty, that was wild, that one. But this one, they were in and out because they didn't have a trailer, so they came in with the trailer. It wasn't on a trailer there. So, but yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
Who
Well,
knows where it is?
it's like I was saying in one of my first podcasts that I think it's not um, if it will happen or not, it's when it will happen. Everyone that has a machine will have some type of break-in or a theft, I reckon, in their time. So it's like
Yeah,
it's going to happen.
yeah,
You just have to sort of just sit and wait because it will happen, man, somewhere along the line.
yeah. It's it's definitely yeah, definitely frustrating. It was because my car got broken into probably, I think, the week before as well. So it's kind of like it's one of these things that's happening more and more, but it's just yeah, look, it's frustrating. It's just I don't. I think the thing that pisses me off, it's like I don't condone stealing, but like stealing from the little guys who aren't well off and are trying to make a hard-earned fucking living, and then you going out and stealing their small excavators. Like fuck, really? Like
Yeah,
that's what pisses me off.
yeah,
Um, so.
yeah, yeah, very
It's
true.
frustrating, man. Like, if you're gonna steal, like if you steal, I don't condone it, but if you steal a chocolate bar from the supermarket, like, fuck, who gives a fuck? It's a
Yeah,
multi-million dollar company, you know what I mean? Like, it's a, it's a, yeah,
so,
I don't
yeah,
condone it, but it's a tiny little thing. But stealing
yeah,
an excavator who is someone's business, who's a small company, it's like, fuck, it's a dog act.
yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
no, I hear because when they took my one, not only did it mean that the operator I had that used to sit on that machine had nothing to do, I then had to sacrifice jobs I was doing to put him on that. That means I
yeah,
wasn't working, and then it took a month or so for the insurance to all go through, and then when it did happen, then by the time I actually got the money and that, it was just like I didn't even want the machine or that anymore. Like it was over.
yeah,
And in
and
the,
that's what I've found as well. Like to answer Unified's plumbing question, there is now they sprayed the camera on the construction site, and then the cops have got footage on that street. But just like I had to ring them probably 10 times to even get a police report number. Like it dragged out. That dragged out for a month just because it was going to another person, another person, another person, and they just sounded like they just had way too much on. So
yeah,
the cops
no,
essentially said to me is, "We've tried our best. We've found the tracker. We've looked at some camera footage. We've tried our best. It's probably just best you go through insurance." That's
mate, when I had
that's what I got told. So I was kind of like, and then it took me a month to get the police report number out of them. So
yeah,
it's a yeah, it's a
yeah.
frustrating, as you would know, it's a frustrating process that takes a bit of time.
It
Um,
does. And the thing is too, like they don't really they know they're probably not likely to find it, so they don't put too much effort in. And I find that
yeah, 100%.
they just
Yeah,
told me last time for the last one, which was like the posi tractor got taken, they didn't even bother coming out at all.
yeah,
They just said to me, have you got insurance? I said, yep. They said, all right, we'll send you a report. Here's the report coming through the email. That's all you need,
yeah,
man. Go, you got insurance? Yep. Okay, that's all. They didn't even bother coming out, checking anything,
yeah.
nothing.
Well, they did. They didn't even come out to the construction site where it was taken. And then
Yeah.
they did the classic, like I remember when I was at Rokon, we had a break in into one of the containers, and I think they stole a fair bit, and then we took it up with
Hey,
the police, and then they sent a forensic department out there like 2.5 weeks later, and they
yep.
were like, "Hey, can we get some fingerprints?" And I was like, "Well, what do you think? It's 2.5 weeks later, like
Yeah.
it's rained, there's dust, like there's
Yeah.
no point. You're wasting your time." So
Yeah. Is that the one where was that the one where a front end loader they used the front end loader to break it open, or was it oxy
uh,
torched open or something?
this one was on the. I remember that one, the front end loader. No, this was on Hopkins Road, and I think they just cut through all the locks.
Mm.
Yeah, this could have been an oxy torch job. This one,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Because
yeah, I think I got a little pump and a little Jenny or something like that. But yeah, it was just I remember the front end loader one,
Yeah,
and
what happened to that? What was the story
someone
behind that?
well, someone got into a front end loader, and someone also got into an excavator, and because he caught it on camera, someone got into one of the excavators and took down the security camera with the excavator.
Yeah, I heard
Uh,
something like that.
um,
Yeah, yeah,
so yeah, you get wild. I remember like the 70s used to get drained with fuel. I'd drive out in the middle of the paddock with a trailer and stuff, and it was
yeah.
she's a wild west out there.
Wild West. I saw a clip the other day. I think it was on the Instagram or Facebook or somewhere, and it had somebody in an excavator caught guys trying to siphon diesel, and
Yeah,
then the guys were in the actual cabin of their truck and trying to get away, and he was hammering down with a bucket on top of their roof.
yeah,
Have you seen
right.
that clip?
No,
Then he
I
gets out
haven't.
and they get out and they start telling whoa 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 whoa, and then he gets out of the
Yeah,
machine.
yeah,
He starts belting them, and then everyone's like, yeah,
yeah.
get him. Oh, yeah, he fully like pounds down with the bucket on their cabin and that, man, wrecks their truck.
Yeah,
So
fuck
good on him,
that.
man.
So yeah, serves them right, man.
Good on him. What's going to happen when we go electric? What are they going to do then? How are they going to steal anything then?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know, man. I don't know.
There'll be a different thing. They'll be stealing batteries
Uh,
or something. I don't know.
yeah. Oh, I've had that happen to me. Some dude broke in the yard and stole my two truck batteries, and they were old as well. And I was like, really?
Yeah,
Is it that desperate that you got to steal two truck batteries?
yeah.
Uh,
You know,
um,
when my 20-tonner got broken into down in Wyndham Vale, they
yeah,
took my hammer. Yeah, they took the hammer, the batteries, they took everything out of it. And
yeah,
then all these guys turned up on site with their own, their machines were all parked a bit further. And
yeah.
I remember them all saying to me like, "Oh, you poor bastard, man," this and that. So anyway, they all left to go start their machines, and then a few minutes later, I see them all turning back up
Yeah.
in their utes, and I'm saying, "What's going on?" And they go, "The bastards took all our batteries. They took everybody's batteries on
Oh,
site." Yeah,
yeah, yeah, gotcha.
yeah,
Like, what do you like? I just didn't understand that. Like, what are you getting for selling a battery? Like, I get that
oh,
you can recycle them, but what are you getting? Bugger
yeah.
all.
I don't know. I don't know what they get, but it must be enough for a hit or something, man. Either junkies
Uh,
or something. I don't know.
uh,
I don't know. Or they're
has to be, man. Yeah.
selling them to other guys. All I know is Karma. My wife always talks to me about Karma. She always says, "Do not buy any hot stuff because what goes around comes around."
Yeah.
She always said to me, "Do not buy anything hot, even if it's really cheap and you think, shit, man, I'm going to jump on this." She just says, "Don't," because you're just promoting it for them.
Oh, yeah. Karma comes around. Karma
Yeah.
definitely comes around. I got told a story the other day. I was working on this job, and they were putting in like new infrastructure for to meet all the subdivision demand. And there was this neighbour who, as soon as they started, they got it all the permits and all the stuff were in place. And this neighbour took it upon himself to harass the project pretty much every day, abusing the foreman, abusing the workers, abusing everyone, just being a pain in the ass, complaining to their council, doing all this, just a proper piece of shit. And then the foreman was out there one day. This happened probably about 2 months ago. The foreman was out there. The old bloke who is the one who complains was in the paddock, forgot to shut the gate, and his bull full charged him and put him in hospital for about 3 months.
Oh
And the bloke's
shit.
just back to walking now, and the foreman was like, fuck, like, that's karma coming back around because this bloke was a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And then to see that his bull full go turn on him was, yeah, that's kind of bittersweet.
Should have
So,
said to him,
yeah,
"Hey,
I agree with you.
you should have said to him, you messed with the bull, you get the horns."
Yeah.
You could
So,
use that one.
no,
Oh,
yeah, I
yeah,
believe. Yeah, I'm with you, man. Karma comes around. So.
yeah, yeah. Nah, true, man. I remember once when I was young, I bought a hot stereo for my car,
Yeah.
and we put it in and we were wrapped, and I think it even had a CD left in there. It was like what's his name? Gangster's Paradise.
Oh,
What was
yeah,
that?
yeah,
What?
yeah. Bloody,
Anyway, it had a single in there, CD. Someone I was like,
yeah,
bonus. I even got that, and I think it was like $50 or something I paid back then.
yeah,
And then I
Yeah,
swear it wasn't even like a few months later, someone broke in and took it, and I was like, "You bastards, that's karma, man." They came
yeah,
in,
yeah.
Coolio,
That is
Coolio, that's the one,
cool.
boys. Yeah, I was rapt. I even had a free CD in there. And then,
Yeah,
yeah, sure enough, my car got broken into. They took all the subwoofers. I was a big, Murray then. Took
everything.
all the yeah, took the subbies, took everything, man, the stereo. And I was like,
Yeah,
that's karma for you, man. That's karma.
yeah. Bloody earth, man. Bloody earth.
Oh, man. Oh, that's enough about me. So since we spoke last time, things have changed for you. I think you got married since then. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong. I
I
think you
did,
weren't
yeah.
married.
I got married. Yeah, got
Yeah.
married. So it's all changing, man. Got a little chief on the way.
Oh,
23
oh,
weeks. So yeah, it's got the next in line to take over the business. So, but no, it's all happening,
congratulations.
man. Yeah, thanks, man.
Congrats.
So
Yeah, that's it. So, what, you know it's a
exciting
boy, or
time.
do you know what it is
No, we're
already?
just now getting the odd surprise, man. The odd
Yeah,
surprise.
yeah, that's what we
There's
do, man.
a few surprises in life.
Mm-hmm.
So why? Yeah. So we
Yeah,
thought we'd just run with whatever. See what happens, man.
yeah.
So
No, we did the same with both kids. Yeah, we just said, you know what, let it be a bit of a surprise, and it is what
yeah,
it is. So it worked out.
yeah. So either way,
No,
it's we'll be stoked. So it's yeah, no, exciting times, man. So
very
and
good.
then I suppose with the business side, we've kind of gone, yeah, I suppose taking on some bigger jobs. Um, yeah, we've definitely taken on some bigger jobs, that's for sure. But I think that's just kind of the natural progression.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but
I I notice you. I notice you do a lot more commercial stuff. Yeah, on your posts and that. So have you moved more into just commercial now, like, or bigger
yeah,
projects?
I suppose I always had the commercial clientele, but I suppose I was known as so in this discussion with a mate the other day, I was kind of known as just a 5 ton guy, just like I had a 5 ton a truck. And then it wasn't until I kind of got involved on that South Morang project, and then I had my mate Levi from Adams Civil kind of help me with his grader and all the GPS. He had the UTS out there with the posi track. I had his 26. We kind of really, I showed that what I was capable of with pulling in subbies.
Yep.
So that kind of gave me the crack at Bonds Lane, which is Greenvale, where um, it's about it's about 5,000 squares. So it's a Starbucks, 7-Eleven, and a Red Rooster. So I kind of took on the full civil scope of there, and that's kind of where I met through Nate from DTD. He put me on to Gav from GR Dirtworks. So then I was able to go in there with Gav, and his dozer, and kind of, yeah, we really kind of showed, I suppose, the world what I could achieve. So it kind of just, yeah, this natural progression of just kind of got a good kind of solid network of subbies that we kind of, feed off. And then, yeah, that's just a natural progression. You show that you can do that with the builder, and then they go, all right, well, we'll give you this job, and then this job, and then this job, and then it just kind of just goes from there. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So that's
Uh,
kind of where I'm sitting at the moment. I'm still that guy with the 5 ton machine, but I've kind of got a little network going where I can do these bigger jobs under my name, but use their expertise to kind of produce the work, I suppose. So,
yeah. Yeah. And it's true. That goes back to what I always say, that you've got to be good with other subbies and utilize each other, because it saves you having to try and take on everything and buy all the equipment yourself, and that you
yeah,
can't always do that. So, and then, like you say,
yeah,
it brings in different knowledge. Like you say, some people know heaps about the UTS and how it all works and can set up grades and everything, whereas some of
yeah,
us might not know all that. So you can utilize them, for everything. Um,
100%. I always look at that as like I speak to some companies where they're kind of like, oh, like, do you want to get big? And it's like, I said this in the podcast last time. It's like, nah, like I couldn't think of anything worse, to be honest with you. It's too much headaches. But why would I go out and buy a D6 dozer that's got UTS on it when I've got someone like Gav who I can send in and be like, he'll do the job, he'll blow it out of the park. Like, what, like, why? Like for me, like why, what am I gaining out of, I don't want to do like the amount of work you would have to win to service that machine. For me personally, I don't want to do that. That gives me anxiety thinking about that. So I'm happy with going for because I go for the full civil package. So that means I do the earthworks and then I come back at a later date and I run all the pavement rock, whether that's for like a hard stand for the servo, all the footpaths around the buildings, whether it's footpaths at schools. So it's my jobs are kind of broken into two stages. So I've got the earthwork stage and then I come back and do all the rock and all the finishing kind of earthworks. So for me, it's kind of like I want to do 3 to 4 of those jobs a year. So that's not enough workload to keep a D6 with UTS going. So then I use someone like Gav, who I can call on. I know he's going to do the job perfectly. And yeah, I make money, he makes money, the client makes money. They're happy with the work I'm doing. It's a win-win.
Yeah.
So, yeah, look, if I was chasing just earthworks job after earthworks job after earthworks job, big, stuff like that, and not doing the rock work, probably, yeah, I could look at buying a dozer down the track and running it myself. But at this stage, it's just, yeah, it's not worth it. Why would I?
Yeah.
And that's just about relationships, man.
Yeah,
they do.
Exactly.
Well, they do. And I think like you look at it as like a lot of people from outside the construction game ask me, they're like, oh, it's slowing down. I'm like, I don't know. I'm in a fortunate position where I've worked hard, built a lot of relationships, not interested in the game of screwing people over. And I've kind of, yeah, built these relationships where there's plenty of work out there, but I feel like in that kind of that period we've had, a lot of people were like, fuck, like, let's just buy all these machines, tax write-offs, all this, and just go full kind of gear heavy because it's there. But it was kind of like a false kind of hype. Like it was you know what I mean? It wasn't like you could just stay steady and not buy a heap of shit. And then, like, I feel like the only people that are really slowing down are the people that bought 30 excavators because there was this massive false kind of like, rush. And you got asset write-offs and all this shit. So it's kind of like, yeah, fuck, let's buy it. Why hire it? Let's buy it. But now it's slowed down a little bit. It's gone back to normal. That's what I've found anyway. So yeah, that's where I see it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I really like those words that you used. You said stay in my lane. I remember when I first interviewed you and you're saying, you know what, I just want to stay in my lane and not get too big too fast and that, just do what I need to do. And like you said, it's all about relationships and you're stuck with it, man.
Yeah.
So since then, it's been nearly a year and you're stuck with it and it's working.
Yeah.
So obviously it's working. It's true. It's just the way it is.
It is working, man. It's just the end of the day, man. Like your clients, like how I look at it with my clients is kind of like, I want to be doing this for a long time. So for me to be able to do that, it's like your client. So the builder wants to get a trade in who is good at their job, a good price, and just makes their job running a project easy. And that's what it's all about. So for me,
and you don't have
that's my priority. It's to go in there, do the job, obviously make money because we're not charities. We're not here to lose money, but to work with them. And that's just, I don't know. It
Yeah.
goes a long way. It
Yeah.
goes a long way. It is about staying in your lane. Like at the start, I mentioned that in my last podcast. It's like at the start, you kind of do everything and then you start to narrow it down. And now I've kind of got into this where like this commercial from probably 0 to 7,000 square meters is what I like. And I'm just going to keep rolling doing that. And any of the bigger stuff, I'll outsource to, you know, I'll happily bring in bigger guys like the guys that I've made relations with as subbies and say, yeah, will you start quoting the bigger work for my clients? Because I don't want to do it. So
Yeah.
I'd rather
Yeah.
it go to someone that I trust than someone I don't trust or that I don't know. So yeah.
Yeah. No, it's good because
So
I think a lot of people need to hear that. You don't have to have all the machines. You can
no,
you can
no.
you can be that one man band and then have your subbies, and as long as you've got those relationships and you can call them in and they know you're gonna, give them work and the customer knows that you're gonna finish their job and that's it.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's purely on how you want to structure your company though. It's like if you want to be just doing dozer work flat out, yeah, go buy a dozer. Don't hire one or use a subby when you're going to be doing that day in, day out. But I think it's all about how you want to run your business and how you want to scale your business. But it's definitely important to kind of what's the word for? Yeah, kind of stay in your lane, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No, well said, man. Well said. So business seems to be going good for you. I was going to ask you about how you're going with all this downturn of work, but
yeah,
you've just answered it anyway. Yeah. So I think a lot of it goes down. And I think even back then we said, because we were saying how a lot of guys complain that, they can't get work and this and that. And usually what we're saying is there's a back end story to all that. There's a reason why they're not getting much work. Or people aren't calling
there
them
is
because
a
when,
reason. There's a reason to it. It's kind of like I look at it as kind of like variations are a big thing. Variations are a huge thing, and I have this debate with not a debate, but we agree with it. A variation shouldn't be looked at as fuck, I'm going to rip the client off and make money. Because a lot of people look at variations like that. And a variation for me is like for some jobs, I will go in and say I have to remove the dirt and there's 1,000 cube. I'll go in at cost. I'll give them cost, which a lot of people would look at me and be like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you giving them the cost price from the plan hire? I'm making a little bit of money off me loading the material out through the digger and my time, but I'm giving them cost and then saying, well, give me a look on the next job.
yeah,
Use a variation as it's what you got to work with your clients. You've got to work with them, and I just feel like a lot of people who don't get return work have this mindset of it's a variation, good, I can make money on it. It's like a cash cow. It's like fuck yeah, let's this is where I make my money. And do
yeah,
you think that client's going to come back to you? No. Like if you think that
no,
they're going to come back to you, you're fucking out of your mind. Like it's just I don't know. I look at a lot of things where it's just like, why would you do that? Or they difficult with variations, or difficult with they kind of threaten them. It's like, well, I didn't allow for this. I
yeah,
didn't allow for that. Well, clearly you should have. It was in the price. It's that kind of fuck. I missed it. I'm, they're not bad people. Like it's what I find is sometimes if you're like, oh, I actually genuinely missed that. Hey, is there anything we can do to come to the party? Like that's kind of how I look at it and how I negotiate it. Whereas some people just go, no, oh fuck, no, I missed that. No, you got to pay that or I'm packing up and leaving. And then they're like, oh, I didn't get the next job. And it's like, yeah, well, you walked off the job over a tiny thing that you missed.
yeah,
Like, like, like you got no one to blame but you. And now you're whinging about not getting the next job. Like, fuck, really? Shock
yeah.
horror. So it's kind of, yeah, I think a lot of people fall down to variations, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I hear that.
Like, I don't know.
I hear that. Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. I hear that a lot. People say like, "Oh, don't worry, we'll make it up in variations." And that when I've quoted jobs with some people and that, they always say, "Oh, it doesn't matter, man. We'll just make it up in variations." And I'm like, "Yeah, you shouldn't be relying on that though.
No,
Let's just make
you
money
shouldn't
on
be.
the way we're supposed to." Yeah, yeah,
Just make, yeah, I suppose you're never going to price a job bang on. There's always going to be ebbs and flows, but you're always going to have losses and wins. But try and price it as best as you can. Work with the client, and there will be some variations where you've kind of got to go in and be like, all right, well, let's do this at cost or make a tiny bit of profit and then kind of go, well, can I get a look in at the next job? Or, yeah, you should never be going into, I don't think you should ever be going in to crucify your client.
yeah,
Um, so,
yeah.
because that's just, yeah, that's never going to end well. So,
Yeah, like you said before, they'll come to a point where they realise that, and then they'll say, "Oh shit, man, this guy ripped us. We won't even bother asking him for the next one."
yeah,
So yeah,
100%.
you don't want to be in that boat.
And then
Yeah,
that person goes,
and
oh, why didn't you ask me about the next job? Oh, because you fucking put 80% profit margin on that job, on that variation. Why would
yeah,
we use you on the next one? So,
yeah. No,
yeah,
good, very good, man, very good. No, very, very, very good feedback there because I think a lot of guys need to hear it. So no, thank you because we did talk about quoting in the last two episodes. So the one was we spoke about what to put in your quote, and the second one
yeah,
was what to do after you've submitted the quote. So I think
yeah,
you just gave us a big rundown on all that in a brief thing. So thank you. That's good.
yeah,
That's really good.
yeah. It's, yeah. Look, I think like, touching on my quoting, I suppose, like uh, a few people probably think that I give away too much information, but so mine's very transparent. So I will put exactly every line item down and how many hours that I'm going to do on that and break it down so the builder can actually see, oh, okay, well, for this part of the scope, so for the site cut, he's allowed 20 hours for a 15-ton excavator. He's allowed 20 hours for a labourer. He's allowed, this is his spoil removal. He's allowed for a pad foot roller for a day to do the proof roll. He's allowed for the GO to come in for one day. And it's got all my hours there that are based off my scheduler rate. So they can see everything there. Oh, okay, yeah, 20 hours. I always go 10s, not 8s, because majority of the time we're there for longer than 8 hours. So I always
Yep.
go 10. So 20 will be 2 days. But then they can see that, okay, he's allowed 2 days for the site cut. These are all his rates. They match these scheduler rates. So you can see there that I'm not, it's about that transparency, I find. It kind of comes back to, I don't know, being genuine and you're working for the builder, but you're working with them as well. And I think that's where I sit at the moment with my workload, that I don't have a downturn in workload because I kind of just try and work for my client and work with my client and hope that it kind of comes back from them that they keep me busy.
Yep.
So
Yeah. No, I like that because you do it the same way I do it. Probably what you do though is you actually show them the workings out, whereas I used to just usually just give them that end sum.
yeah,
So that's probably a learning for myself as well because that's how I work it out. I always say 10 hours for this, 10 hours for that. I always work on tens because you've always got
yeah.
like a bit of time
It always
between.
goes over, man. Yeah, it always
Yeah,
goes over. Or you're always waiting for that last truck to rock up, and he's all that. The quarry doesn't rock up until 8:30, and then then you got to stay there till 5. Like you've got to allow for tens.
yeah, always,
You
always. Never say eight.
have
Exactly right.
to. Yeah, you have to. So, and it's
Yeah,
justifiable. Oh, why do you put 20 for 2 days? Well, I'm out here if the quarry doesn't rock up, or that's late, or that truck gets held up in traffic. I'm losing money if I put down 8s. Yeah, fair enough. So
yeah.
yeah,
Even
a
even
lot
the
of the
loads. Yeah, a
people
lot.
like I'll
Yeah.
keep going.
No, no, go, go, go.
Oh, it's like a lot of the builders they don't want you like they don't want you to lose money. They don't want someone to come in and lose money and then fucking walk off their job because they can't do the project. Like they want them to be there, happy, making money, at the same time. So yeah, I think it's yeah, being about as transparent
Yeah.
as you can and then allowing for what is meant to be allowed without taking the piss, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah. No, well said, man. Well said. All right. Well, I really appreciate all that, man. That everything that you just said. Hopefully, everyone can take something out of that. Um, what is the future plans for you? So let's end on that sort of note for yourself. What's the outlook for yourself?
Um, to be honest with you, I just kind of continue where I'm going, I suppose. I've got a pretty good network now where we've kind of got I got some great subbies that I can kind of they're in I suppose we're in a bit of a inner circle and I suppose it's just kind of continuing on that. I've got a few kind of great clients that I work for that I just want to continue. I don't want to do all their work, but I want to continue working. I suppose I said this to one of the directors. I don't want to do all your work, but I love working for your company. So if you could keep me busy, that'd be great. Because I know my limitations. I don't want to get huge. So therefore, I can't do all your work because I don't want to get in an argument with you about not delivering. So yeah, for me, to be honest, man, I between 0 to probably 10,000 square meters commercial cruise along doing that. I'll probably buy the best thing that's come out of me losing my little excavator is the insurance money. I can now probably put that down as a deposit for a skiddy that I'll use. And then essentially nothing's changed, man. I think I want to keep the five, the truck, get a skiddy, probably a 15. And I've got one bloke with me now. I'll keep him and then maybe get two other guys and that's it. And then I just have the
Yeah.
subbies around me. I've got Gav that's got the dozer. I've got Levi who's got the grader and the bigger diggers. I've got Nath who's got his digger. It's kind of just, I'll keep those people. And if I do need to do bigger stuff, I'll just get them to do it and I'll manage it, the job.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No,
That's
good.
that's 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 my game plan, man. It hasn't changed, and I don't think it will change, to be honest with you. Because
Yeah.
anything over that, man, just gives me anxiety. I've been there where I've managed it for someone else, and it's just not it. It's not it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but
Very
me
true.
saying that it's not it, if that's someone else's plan to strive and be that big guy, fuck, go for it. Like, go for it. If that's what you want to do, go for it. But for me, no. So,
Yeah. No, good. You sound like a man with a plan. That's it.
yeah, well, you
Stick with it,
got it,
man. That's
man.
it.
You got to.
Yeah.
So, end of the
Yeah.
day, we're running a business
Yeah.
and we've got to be happy. So,
Yeah.
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 So,
No, you've done well till now, obviously. And like you say, something's happened for a reason. So maybe that's why the 1.8 went. Just to show you're going to go down this path. You won't need this anymore. So who knows? Things
yeah,
happen for a reason.
yeah, yeah.
And karma might get those people. Hopefully, karma comes around to those that took it.
Hope, hopefully karma does. Hopefully,
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully it does come around. But yeah, you couldn't have said it better,
Yeah.
man. It's kind of one of those things. You've got to take positives out of something, and I think the positive is that I don't use that machine anymore, so the insurance money can probably go down as a deposit for a machine that I will use. So I don't.
Yeah.
It's one
That's it. You'll
positive,
you'll
I
work it out.
suppose. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
So
sure you will work it out. I'm sure.
yeah.
Nah,
So
that's it. All right. Well, you know what? Thank you very much for your time. I know
no
it's a
worries, man.
Sunday night. A lot of people, you're probably keen to get to sleep and wake up early for tomorrow. But I do appreciate you coming on. Congratulations as well on the little one coming. And who knows? Maybe the next time you'll be on, you'll have a little co-host with you as well.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah, well, Jan 26th. So there we go. Yeah, next on the
Yeah.
podcast might have a little 2IC with me. So
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
exciting
it.
times, man. Exciting times. I just hope that they love excavators as much as I do. But
Yeah. Oh,
we'll see
sure. I'm
how we
sure they
go.
will. This is
Yeah.
Oscar. Oscar saying, "Love the life, but getting tired of this joker." There you go. People are going to stir up. I like it. I like it. He
Good
asked
on
another
Oscar.
question
Nah,
before.
well,
Well, he asked.
he's one of my blokes, Oscar. So
Okay. Yeah.
he's the
Yeah.
young
Yeah.
guy I got working with me. So he's a
Mhm.
he's come a long way. But he loves a joke, and that's what
He
we love
does.
about him. He brings a bit of
Yes.
banter, brings a bit of banter to the work side. That's for sure.
You do. You do. You need
Well, you
that
need
balance,
it.
man. You need a bit of a laugh. Yeah.
You need it, and that's Oscar brings that. So he's
Good.
yeah, he loves the joke.
That's it, Oscar. Well done, mate. He was asking if what lube we use before. He might need some lube tomorrow. Who knows? Look out, Oscar. Watch out. The boss man will be coming. Uh,
Oh shit!
oh. All right,
No,
mate.
all
Thank you
good.
very much. I'll let you go. You just log off, and I really, really appreciate your time. And everybody else, stay on for a minute. I'll do the last final bit of my show, and then we
All
can
good.
all finish up and get to bed, man. But thank you very much for coming on again, Hayden. We'll speak soon, mate.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. See you,
Take
man.
care, man. Bye bye.
See ya.
See ya. Just wait for Hayden to log off. He's gone. He's gone. Mr. Wolf saying good chat. Thank you very much, Mr. Wolfie. So thank you very much to Hayden from Kinghorn Excavations for coming back on. It was good to see him and catch up with him. That's the first time we've actually had a chat since our last interview. So it was a good while ago. He was one of my first guests that I had on. And top guy, man. As you can see, he got his head switched on. He's a man with a plan. He knows where he wants to go. And he keeps it real. So hopefully you guys learnt something tonight and got something out of this. Something I've certainly seen in that message is that you don't need to have all the equipment to make it, and you don't need to know everything. You can bring subbies in, you can bring mates in and use them to help you out. Don't forget, guys, I have merch available. So now hats, like normal caps, and then you've got the bucket hats, all available now on the website. If you go onto earthworkshub.com.au, go to the shop section, you can get t-shirts with all the sponsors on the back. You can get plain t-shirts with just Earthworks Hub. You can get now you can get caps, and especially for summer, man. I used to bag bucket hats. I used to think guys that had them with drop kicks. Now I love my bucket hats, man. I think they protect your ears better, your neck. I actually wear a bucket hat every summer now. So I like we were talking about karma before. I shouldn't bag things, you know. But I do actually enjoy my bucket hats now in summer, especially if you're working outdoors. So if you want to get your hands on one of those, go to earthworkshub.com.au. If you haven't listed your business on there, go on to Earthworks Hub, list your business so people can find you. So it doesn't matter what you do in Earthworks, anything, any type of Earthworks activity, go on there, list your business so we can all find you. There's already heaps on there, so keep adding to it. I've got tip sites on there. So if you need to find a tip site, go onto Earthworks Hub, look in the tip site section, and it will tell you what tips we have. And it's got different categories for rubbish, soil, clean fill, all these different things. If you've got a tip site, you can add one in. So go in and add your own tip site. If you know someone that has one and the address and all that, put it in. There's also plant hire agencies. There's events. You can go in, and if you've got an event, you can list your event. So if you've got an expo coming up or a demo day or something like that, you can go and list it. If you've got a job, if you're looking for someone, a position vacant, put it in there as well under the job section. And if you're looking for work, you can advertise yourself and list yourself on there saying that you're looking for work. Put down your experience and that, and people might, find you on there. So go on there. I've got news blogs with all the latest news, and then links to all my sponsors are on there, so you can get discounts with them. And then you've got some all the YouTube material, so you can go on from there to all my socials. So YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, everything, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you name it, I'm on it. But do definitely spread the word. Earthworks Hub. Go out, tell everyone to join and follow me. Somebody's saying, Aussie Mate 8 is saying he's got an RC excavator and a new one coming soon. Mate, that is awesome. This Christmas, I'm going to ask my family to get me an RC excavator. That's going to be my present or my my request from Santa. I want to get one as well, man. So, and I'm going to see if I can get Earthworks Hub written on it. So that's my hopefully my Christmas gift for this year. But no, good to see you, man. Guys, keep an eye out for all my videos. These things, all these Sunday lives, I post them up on YouTube and Spotify and Apple, so you can always come and listen to them. And don't forget, on YouTube, there's an audio version and a video version. So some people get confused and click on the audio and then text me and say, "Hey, man, where's the video?" There's two different ones, yeah? So go on YouTube podcast, and that will be audio. Or if you just go to my YouTube channel and click on my videos, you'll see all these lives come up as well. Plus, I do other individual guest interviews as well. So go on there, and you'll see my operating tip videos and all this other stuff I do. So, guys, I think I'm going to call it an evening. It's 9:03. I'm sure everyone wants to get to sleep and go to work. Thank you once again for joining. Thank you once again for your input. Thanks again to my guest, Hayden. I really appreciate him coming on. Top guy. If you want to be a guest, hit me up. If you know someone that could be a potential guest, also hit me up. If you've got topics that you want me to cover, send me a message and I'll try and look it up for you. In the meantime, have a good week, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Take care.